They're calling it The Event. Cowboy Stadium becomes the biggest boxing venue in recent memory as seven-time world champ Manny Pacquiao laces them up against Joshua Clottey. With the huge jumbotron, no seat among the 40,000 expected to be available, should be a bad seat in the house. If you build it, they will come. They do everything big in Texas, and now everything big is coming to Texas. Jerry Jones has landed Manny Pacquiao's next fight against Joshua Clottey in March at his brand spanking new Cowboy Stadium, and it is our pleasure to bring in the Cowboys owner here to ESPN News. Why are you getting into the fight game, Jerry?
Well, first of all, if you looked at the original renderings years ago when we were thinking about the design of our stadium, you'd see a fight ring right in the middle of the Dallas Cowboy Star. So it's been an ambition of mine and an ambition of ours when we built the stadium, and we built it so that if given the opportunity, I call it putting the blood in the stadium after you've built it, given the opportunity, then we could have a great fight. I really didn't dream, though, that to initiate, give first impressions about what this stadium can be as a fighting venue. I never dreamed that we could have someone of Manny Pacquiao's stature. And I'm so pleased and excited because if people think of our stadium, Manny Pacquiao is the type of individual I want them to think about.
And you do get Manny Pacquiao, but you don't get the guy that we thought he was going to fight. You're a deal maker here, Jerry. How come you couldn't get in the middle between Manny and Floyd Mayweather, stop all the sniping, and get them together to fight in that stadium?
Well, you know, I offered $25 million as a guarantee on this venue as a starter. But I think that was some pretty stiff competition out there, and as it turns out, it bodes well for our fans and our fight experience here with our stadium. It bodes well because we now were able to get Manny Pacquiao, and that's who I wanted.
Okay, so we have him there. He's got a good fight with Clottey. So here we are, major prize fights. Super Bowl is coming there. The Final Four is coming there. The Cotton Bowl is now played there. What event do you want to take place in that stadium that's not taking place there?
Well, I think that my goal was, as we were building this stadium, we were so proud of the architecture, the engineering, the aesthetics, glass. But at the end of the day, as I said earlier, it's a tractor, it's a tool. What really is that counts is you put the blood in it, which is the great competition, the great acts. And that's where the work begins. We've got a great tool here, but we've got to use it. And the Manny Pacquiao fight is just an example of that. But we certainly want to have a chance to have more of substantive games like the Super Bowl game, like the NBA All-Star game, basketball games. The stadium was built and configured to be able to handle any event that can be drawn up.
And certainly it's been allure there. You've attracted some major events that are going on there. I've got to ask you about your team here. Season ended over the weekend. First things first here, in your opinion, did Brett Favre and the Minnesota Vikings run up the score on the Cowboys at the end of the game over the weekend?
Well, I don't know how you have someone as competitive as Brett Favre and have him in the game and slow his competition down. He does what he was born to do, and that is try to make a play and make touchdowns. So I look at it that way. By the way, I'm a great fan of Brett Favre. Was a big fan going in. I'm a real big fan of him now. He played better than we thought he would. And certainly their defense, we weren't prepared for the way their front played, and that all took its toll on our team. Would like to have this week to try again, but hats off to Minnesota, and hats off to them on their competition and scoring touchdowns.
But you don't have a problem with them scoring a touchdown, 1:55 to go in a 27-3 game?
Look, I've got all kinds of problems when a touchdown is scored and it's against the Cowboys. And you don't want to hear me yelling my pillow every time that happens. The nature of, well, what it meant, I can tell you what it means. Usually it means you're going to go home not as happy as you could have gone home. So I've got a problem with any touchdown scored against the Cowboys. But I'm not going to get into that. They've got too good a team. We had that game in an opportunity to compete there in the fourth quarter. But we didn't come to the occasion. We'll learn from that. we will learn from that and hopefully get another chance to get back at that spot.
It is out there that Wade Phillips will return as your head coach next year. Jerry, let me ask you this. With his record, why do you think he is criticized so often?
Well, I think that any coach on his way to winning a Super Bowl is subject to criticism. I've had 3 Super Bowl winning coaches since I've owned the Cowboys, and the criticism went away when they got that Super Bowl win. I think that goes with the territory. The stakes are high, particularly with the Cowboys. There's no joy in Mudville with a almost there. We've won 5 Super Bowls. I'm dying to get a 6th. I traded with the guy up above everything to get the 5th one. I've been trying to redo a deal for several years here now to give me another one. But we'd like to somehow get back and do a 6th Super Bowl. But I think Wade is an outstanding coach. I wouldn't have hired him had I not think that. I know that he's the most valuable player on our defensive football team this year. The players really follow him. They respect him. I respect him. I listen to him. He's a really top talent evaluator. All of those things make him a good head coach. And last year he was under far more criticism, and I didn't want to make a change then, and I don't now, and that's why I've got the option. I can exercise the option, and we're in business.
Okay, so he is officially coming back as the head coach of the Cowboys next year.
Yes, because I have the right to exercise the option, and we've got to work out the details of what we do other than an option, but I want him back. I said that early in the season before we got on the run that we got on at the end, but he deserves that, and I'm glad that we're going forward. We need continuity. If I look back at the mistakes I've made, there are many, but if I look back at them, having the numbers of coaches I've had over the last 16 years is a big one. And so continuity, even if it's with coaches that might not be the high glamour coach, the Super Bowl winning coach, continuity is more important than that, and Wade brings that.
And certainly something to be said. You won the NFC East, you won a playoff game, probably didn't end the way you wanted it to, but it was a good season for the Cowboys. He is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. He's now a boxing promoter these days. Watch out, Jerry. Those are dangerous waters to be treading in. Jerry Jones, thanks for joining us today here on ESPN News.